Now we're we got. I don't know why I was playing with so much trouble with that, and now we're going to be live, William. Woohoo!
Woohoo! Bring it on, buddy.
Sorry to everyone that we are late.
I don't feel late.
I know you don't. Wonderful, wonderful. Here we go. I was playing with so much trouble with that, and now we're going to. All right, William.
Yes,
Let's
sir.
go.
All right. Well, welcome everybody. What a great opportunity. And maybe next time we'll have it more on track. So bring it on, let's go. Let's bring on the questions, bring on the run-throughs and anything and everything else that's presenting for you, coming up for you, and going on for you.
There is a few questions from some of your previous videos on YouTube, William, that I thought I'd bring up to start. The first question is, what is the difference between my highest good and the highest good for all concerned?
For your highest and best good, what that really means is being fully integrated, embodied, to be fully and completely expanded, to be fully in a state where you're in your own personal, unique sincerity and integrity within yourself. And what that means is that you're in your fullest potential, you're integrating, you're embodied, you're expanding, you are the light beingness that you are. Now, for the highest best good of all concerned, let's take it beyond the physical, let's take it beyond the mental, let's take it beyond the emotional, let's take it even through the soul level of consciousness. For the highest best good of all concerned is that there's not all this grabbing, and there's not all this playing this part, that part, or the other part. It's that dear ones, even they go into their mental levels, their emotional levels, egoic structures, and even soul levels that are saying, you got to be this, you got to be that, you got to be the way I think you should be, when I think you should be it, which is kind of like, it brings up a good example for today. We're hypothetically running 9 minutes behind, but yet, are we really? Is it divine perfection? Or is it something your ego is struggling with that, okay, 4 o'clock's 4 o'clock, blah, 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 blah. Well, let's go ahead and let all that go. Let's welcome forth divine timing, divine right order for your highest and best good. And I say your highest and best good because right now you're letting go, you're superseding, you're expanding, going beyond, iridescently, vibrantly, vibratedly, escalating, and amplifying within the vibratory levels and frequencies of light. So from here, this is where you're lighting up, opening up, emanating, expanding, going well beyond space, going well beyond time. And as you go here, what happens here is that everyone in your family monad, everything that's ever played out in creation, in your perceptional reality, mentally, physically, subpsychically, and consciously and emotionally, we're stepping into your fullest potential. We're stepping into more and more of your higher levels emanating, flourishing through the lower levels. And then all these grappling hooks, all these plugs, all these cords, whatever you want to call it. It's basically a place where you haven't breaking energy and you're still engaged in all these old archaic past events or these older ones that are wanting. And we say thank you, but no thank you. I am love, I am light beingness, I am the emanation, creator consciousness, and the presence in which I am. Now, as all of us step into that right here, right now, all the mask, all the perceptions, all the egocentrical levels, all the barriers, all the confines of what brings forth others to try to put you in their own egocentric boxes for their own clarity of understanding within their comfort zones to decide if you're safe, if you're not safe, if you fit into the boxes that they attempt to put you in for their own comfort zone. Well, what happens is that you're not giving them all these boxes. You're not playing all these parts. You're not pretending. You're not trying to fit in, fit out. You're not taking any of this stuff on right now, which therefore really opens you up, opens them up, because now they don't have any grappling hooks to try to grasp you into their comfort zone. That pain is bad, comfort is good, the point of life is to be understood. And this is where it goes into the highest, best good of all concern, because as they're not able to grasp on, as you're not catching any fiery cannonballs called judgments, projections, blah, 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 this comes into more of your emanation, your radiance, which is assisting them as much as it's assisting you.
Fabulous. Here's a live question that popped up in the chat.
A live one?
Yes, it's a live one. Hi, William. Once mentioned that emotions stem from the ego. Does this go for every feeling and emotion, or just certain ones?
Let's go, you and Michael, you and I, let's go ahead and break down feelings, which is something totally not emotion, something totally separate. Emotion. A good example. There's all these dogs barking outside right now, and we're doing a live stream webcast or YouTube live or whatever, me too, YouTube. Well, how should, in my own perceptional judgment, should that be? Should it be quiet? Should they be shot? Should the neighbor go inside and not be digging with their shovel? Should the sprinklers be this way, that way, or the other way? How should the world and everyone in a body on a planet throughout the world, how should my angel be? How should the world be? How should my projected perceptional, egocentric perceptional reality be? Now, it's been asked to me before, it's like, well, the kids are crying on and on and on, and if it's getting on your nerves, let's all take that to heart. I laugh because it's like, well, if that's the worst thing that happens, we're doing pretty darn good. But what does your ego say about it? How should kids behave? How should they not behave? If I have a little one in a shopping cart grabbing everything off the shelves, how should that be? Should it not be taking place? Should it be taking place? Should the dogs be barking? Should the dogs not be barking? Should our parents be a certain way? Should your colleagues be another way? Should your partner be a different way? Those are all based in perceptional judgment called emotion. You see, judgment is what creates emotion. It's like we're throwing a rock in a river, and of course the current that is constantly flowing is going to be interrupted by that rock. It's going to go around, it's going to go over to the right, to the left, underneath sometimes, on and on and on. Now, that rock would represent a judgment. A judgment coming into place as you as creator are commanding it so. Now, eventually, that stream's going to get blocked. Eventually, that stream of fluidity called yourself is going to become caught up with all these perceptual judgments, how things should be, how they shouldn't be, what my kids should be doing, what my parents should be doing, what the outside world should be doing, what government should be doing, blah, 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 blah. When at times what the universe should be doing to bow to your feet and playing the I'm so powerful game. Now, I want you to feel that with me right now. All the patterns, all the conditions for separation to now, where we take a breath together and we get to a point where there is creator incarnate doing what creator does, trying to wake up, going through whatever they're going through. Now, all those other stuffs are emotions. That's why you feel the metaphoric push my buttons game, and then you feel your body, your solar plexus lock it up, shoulders lock it up, becoming like earplugs. And now let's bring it back to you. You, the facet of and as creator of all that is. Now, let's all of us rise to the occasion right now, regardless of what's going on in your life. regardless of what's going on within and throughout your perception realities. Let's step back for a moment. Let's take a breath for a moment. Let's acknowledge for a moment everything is as it has been created to be. So let's free ourselves up from all the small stuff. Toilet seat being left up, left down, whatever. Let's step out of all of our perceptual comfort zones, because all a comfort zone is perceptual judgments and build up and conflicted projections on how things should be, so you can feel and be in your own mental, causal, emotional bodies, as well as subtle bodies, where you can feel comfortable, safe. Now, let's skip all of that, throw it over to the side, because those are all emotions. Those are not feelings. The mind has created this block, is that block, is that. I'd say the mind's kind of innocent party, but you bought into this, you bought into that, bought into that, bought into this. And it all goes into the egoic structure levels. So right now, let's just take a breath. Let's all close our eyes, focus them towards the third eye, or put something in the palm of your hand, or point downwardly, go cross-eyed downwardly if you wish, with the eyes closed. Now, let's do something totally different. Let's inhale through your nose for about the count of 8, all the way below your navel. Hold for the count of 8. And right now, let's just, as we're blowing out, trying to blow out a tea light candle, let's exhale for the count of 8. But as we do, let's go in to start to feel your heart. Not what it's supposed to be, feel like, not what it's not supposed to feel like. Just how does it feel? If you want, put your hand there. It makes it easier to connect. Because right now we're bringing in you, we're taking the mind, which is your friend, we're taking the mind, steering it through the heart with the touch of the efferent neurons. Right now, we're just connecting with the heart level to where right now, with your eyes pointed up, pointed down, or something in the palm of your hand, we're stepping out of all the thought forms, perceptions, ideological approaches, identifications. Now, let's just feel. At first, you may just feel boom, 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 boom. Other times, you may feel just the flat parts of the fingers touching the sternum or the heart level. Now, let's just take another breath. Exhale and just letting yourself become more and more integrated, less projective. We can start to feel, it's like a hum. It's like the feeling and the sound of silence all in one. Let's just take another breath, letting all this stuff that's been built up throughout your field, throughout your energy field, mental, emotional, causal level, subtle bodies, just letting it all phase away and phase out with just more and more and more ease, benevolence, and grace. Now, let's look at feelings. There's joy, there's compassion, there's love, there's emanation, there's amplification. There is the feeling of kindness, feeling of compassion. So now let's welcome in your true feelings. And a lot of this comes back to you being in integrity with yourself. We're not taking mom's voices, dad's voices, the world's voices, partners' voices, on and on. We're not living in fear that if we do something out of that sync of their comfort zone, that are going to leave us, drop us like a bad habit, on and on. It's really, right now, even feel that courage. Courage is a feeling. It's a presence. Where, hey, you're going to like me, not like me. That's not about me. It's more about you and how you wish to judge me. So let's just take another breath. And just together feel how unloaded, how decompressed, how light you're becoming. Isn't that awesome right now, Michael, to be able to feel, but also all those feelings, not emotions, they're two totally separate camps. Isn't it awesome to just feel you? We call it you, call it light, call it becoming lighthearted. Even part of that is humor.
It is totally awesome, William, and is the only way we can really feel our feelings if we're in the now.
Totally, thoroughly, and completely. That's why when I stop you, I have you take a breath, focus the guy's eyes here or there, put something in the palm of your hand. Even if you just start out small, put a rock in your hand, put a cell phone in your hand, put a tray in your hand, or even a business card. Let's just start right there, really small. So you can start to feel the energy, not just the corpuscles that touch, where you can really start to feel the energy, your presence, the warmth that starts to come through the palm of the hand. This goes for everyone. Absolutely everyone on this planet is an energy worker in their own divinity, in their own right. A kid trips and falls, they get scraped on the knee. What does the mom do? She goes over, kisses it, puts her hand on it, whatever. She's doing energy work without even realizing it. And all of a sudden, everything starts to feel better for the little one. So right now, let's just go back to the most simplistic state of your being, where you can feel you, and you are your presence. You are your higher levels. But right now, in the relevance of the now, there's no tomorrow. There's no 5 minutes from now. There's no past 5 minutes. There's no indoors. There's no outdoors. Just right here, right now. Experiencing you. And that automatically creates all these open doors of unfoldments, alignments, unveilments, because now it's not one thought, another thought, another thought, another thought being taken off this rail, that rail, going over here, going on there. And you become so taxed, so overly stimulated that, of course, you're going to create a judgment too, or anger or whatever, because the only thing anger is, if we're all going to sum it up, it's only a defense mechanism to try to push anyone and everyone away. A dear one walks into the room, someone says something, does something, or looks at a certain way, and someone gets all infuriated. So what happens? They're trying to clear the field to back everyone away so they can feel safe. That's all that it is. I personally call it kindergarten. But from here, kindergarten's kindergarten. Hey, dear ones are acting, reacting, on and on. But isn't it cool when we say, okay, you know what? I honor that your body is experiencing anger, and taking a breath. Not about me. It's their anger, not your anger. So why would we get sucked into playing the energetic dynamic duo, feeding them, feeding their anger, giving your power away because you don't want to get yelled at, screamed at, or something thrown at you, or maybe you just don't want to hear them going further into their temper tantrum. But isn't it cool though? Someone's crying, someone's super, quote, i.e. emotional, empathetic, sympathetic, what was me, going into the aloof, what was me, the victim, the victimizer, and the aloof personality levels was the first thing that's been taught, and it has been taught all over the map. The whole Ukraine-Russia thing right now is a great example. So many stepping in, woe is the Ukrainians, and then by default, trying to put theirself in those tier one shoes. Now, let's all take a breath, a step back. Let's all call it for what it is. That's all emotion. So, and woe is them, woe is that. How can we look at creator and say, woe is creator? Then we go into Russia. Well, woe is the Russians. Woe is whatever. Or, good wolf, bad wolf, three little piggies, and all that fun stuff. It's all emotional. It's all judgment. But what happens when we go in there? We take a breath. We look at Creator acting oddly. Look at these other creators, which I'm really happy about the Ukraine. They're putting their feet down, saying, we're just not going to lay down and give our power away. I'm not necessarily for battles per se, but it's not about a battle. Because there really isn't a battle. It's more about them putting their foot down and saying, we're just not going to let you take our power away. You may be able to blow us up. You may be able to stab us. You may be able to shoot us. You may be able to take away our dwellings. But still, it's a great analogy of I'm not going to give my power away. It doesn't mean I'm going to go head to head. It just means, oh, okay, there's my condo that's now a pile of rubble. Okay, great. Now you're looking at the hearts of all these other ones opening up, whether it be Poland or wherever else it may be. You're watching Putin and the Putinites stand out, which unfortunately, but literally is isolating themselves. Even his own people are saying, enough is enough. You're watching the consciousness arise when you're acting out emotionally, unfortunately, but in all reality, they're waking up to who they are, to come into the feeling of their presences, their knowingness that says eventually all is well. Part of the beauty there is they're becoming dematerialistic, to where when they do receive whatever, they're starting to emanate so much more gratitude, but they're also being able to receive more and more love. So if we skip all the media, hoorahs, blah, 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 there's a lot bigger game playing out here. Now, if you can take it into your life, personally, you may not be sporting a bazooka or missile launcher, and great job, but isn't it the same when you go to work? Isn't it the same when you go to family gatherings? Isn't it the same when you go into, unfortunately at times, partnership, relationships? Isn't it the same when someone's pushing your metaphoric ego buttons? Same thing. But are we going to stand here, take a breath, step into yourself? Even if it takes focusing here, or focusing there, or something in the palm of your hand, or tightening up the belt around the waist a little bit tighter, or just shoestrings, to bring you right here, right now, to become completely in the relevance of the now, to become completely present in your presence. To where now we're not playing with linear, we're not playing with scattered over there, we're not playing with preoccupations. We are literally right here, right now, and to boot, that's the only place your body is able to recreate, rejuvenate, and open up. And even the youth vitality chromosomes, the telomere, the DNA, the RNA, the youth vitality chromosomes, the telomere going into activation, rather than, oh, I better do this now because what about tomorrow? Or what about this? Or what if? Or my bride might not love me. My husband might not love me if. Or my kids, they might end up being, their pictures might be posted in the post office for America's Most Wanted, but, or, who knows, globally most wanted. But at the same time, right, maybe they're becoming serial killers in training, whatever it may be. But right now, just come back. Let's really look at the little ones. Let's look at your partner. Let's look at your job. Let's look at the whole world. But right here, right now, all around you, let's become completely present to see all the gifts that are right there, to see the truth rather than all the mental emotional jargon. And the cool thing is that it sets you free and it opens you up. And what happens magnetically is when you do this, all those streams of consciousness, all those magnetics of consciousness, all of the belief systems that ABC equals D, or 1, 2, 3 equals 4, whatever, where we come to right here, right now, to where now we're broken energy with the whole world, the whole planetary grid system, and all of the causal levels, mental levels, emotional levels, all the way through the mass collective levels, all the way through the astral planes of consciousness, to where right now we're rising and ascending, which is what ascension really means, is ascending in vibrational frequencies and megahertz of light. It has nothing to do with, disappearing into the clouds and all that fun stuff. It has nothing to do with changing dimensions to be with the 144,000 that are the ones that are saviors on the planet. That's all head stuff. But ascending in vibrational frequencies and megahertz of light is where optimum health, well-being, homeostasis, where you become free automatically. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You become free of the ego. You become free of your exponential incarnational levels. You become free of conflict. And you start to become a major part of the solution.
Bring it on, William. Thank you.
Bring it on, buddy.
From YouTube, which is, can you explain what you mean when you say central sun intelligence?
Yes. There's the sun. The physical magnetic, because it is a magnetizer, that all the magnetics that are through the sun connect each and every planet in this solar system to keep them suspended. Then we go beyond the sun into your central sun intelligence. Now, it's kind of interesting, but it loops right back around into your heart level. Heart without thought. It goes beyond the mental, the emotional, the calibrational lattice work. It goes all the way into what I would call all that is, but all the way into the emanation permeation of the core source that is always you're always connected to, and same with everyone else to a certain degree, of all the humanity, of all the facets of that sun, of that intelligence, of that pure energetic light source that is constantly giving your body life force. It's constantly connected, I say with, but I want to be clear, more so as what I'm calling your higher levels, your light bodies. You're connecting with that. You're laying right there, letting yourself be fully suspended within the whole universe. I use an example of like laying on the ocean, looking up at the star system, just floating on your back. The universe is the oceanic realms that are totally holding your body up, holding you, suspending you, to where it's a love wash after love wash, caressment after caressment. And it really starts getting away, like dissolving all the calluses, all the perceptions, and all of the misperceptions. And then what happens is that creator split itself off to bring all these facets of itself to learn more about itself through the human species, through all these other species, off planet, on planet, angelic, archangelic, ascended host realms, on and on, to learn more with its own evolution of itself, till it can experience more of itself, learn more about itself. Now, the central sun intelligence is the absolute complete hub where you stem from, and you're connected with it, otherwise your body wouldn't be breathing. You, as your higher levels, are right here in the central sun intelligence. It's not solid like this example I'm giving of this Cosmo. It's that you're emanating, and it's connecting to your body. It's emanating, connecting to the neighbors. It's emanating, connecting to the whole solar system, even to the physical sun, that's stabilizing all the magnetics in the whole solar system that are keeping all the planets suspended, including the Milky Way, the solar system, on and on and on. Nebulas, star systems. Well, what's happening is you're constantly connected to your central sun intelligence, which is the original, now it's just look like light, but the original hub in which you have come from. And when you go there from the sun, what happens is you start feeling lighter, brighter, because what's happening, you take your consciousness from your heart, through your throat, through your third eye. You take it all the way through the crown chakra of the vortex, all the way through the mass collective consciousness, and these are layer after layers, all the way through the astral planes of consciousness, all the way to the sun, and we connect right there. So we're now going to a central hub of the universe. Now, we connect there, the brain chemistry starts lightening up, the eyes start flickering because the mind, brain, and body starts going into the theta brainwave, which is the pure level of pure manifestation. It's taken energy, but yet you as creator are now saying, I as creator command this so, command that so. And so therefore it is. But then you go above that, beyond just a theta brainwave. Because when you're in theta, the body starts restoring itself, regenerating itself, opening up. Then we go beyond there throughout the whole universe entirely, all the way within and through your central sun intelligence, which is what I would call home. You're connecting there. You're getting embraced, held, suspended, unconditionally embraced. Not that I need to say unconditionally, because in the whole universe, there are no conditions. That's all humanity made through the emotional calibrational lattice work that has been playing out, going over here, going over there. And where right here, right now, we're emanating, permeating, accelerating once again, as we're just letting ourselves be and become within and through your central sun intelligence. Does that better clarify that, Michael?
Most definitely, because they wanted to know for sure if that correlates to creator, and you definitely answered that.
Uh-huh.
One more question. William, what to do in this exact moment to connect totally? My mind does not totally grasp the words.
Okay. So right now, let's just find something in the room with you. It could be a pen. It can be a coffee cup. It can be a piece of foam. Or it can be like a throat lozenge. Just put it in the palm of your hand right now. Take a nice slow deep breath in through the nose, all the way down to below your navel. Hold. And now just a nice deep sigh to bring yourself right here, right now, to where you can start to feel the weight, whether it be the coffee cup, piece of foam, throat lozenge, whatever it may be. Let's close our eyes, focus our eyes towards the third eye or the nose, or for those that are further along, let's just practice no thought. You might be aware of them right now. Let's just practice within ourselves of not entertaining any thought. You can hear all the yeah buts. Let's just take another breath. All the yeah buts are going to phase out. Now, with the throat lozenge, or the coffee cup, the piece of foam, the pen, whatever you may have in your hand right now, let's just take another breath and really let yourself sink into feeling it in the palm of the hand. If you're wearing a watch, how can you start to become more and more heightened to the weight of the watch, to the shirt or the blouse that's on your body right now? And if you wear eyeglasses, great. Can you feel where the eyeglasses are sitting over your ears and on your nose? Can you feel the dress, the slacks, the shoes? Just right here, right now. Take another breath on the deep sigh. Sink into it, welcoming back all of yourself, more and more cleared and purified, more and more alive. Let's even welcome back all of our energy, all of our power, even all of your soul fragmentations, right here, right now, cleared and purified. But now let's just listen. Let's even listen to the perceivable sound of silence. Let's really just really listen, even listening to the breath, till eventually you can feel the eyebrows. You can feel the hair on the head. For females, you can feel your brassiere, or you can feel where the shirt is touching your flesh. For males, you're going to feel the shirt that you're wearing. Let's just feel. You know, it goes back to that phrase, God, universe, whatever is gentle, not mental. So right now, of course, many may struggle here, but you feel very subtle. So we're letting the subtleness start to become more and more open, more and more emanating within and through your body principle. And what happens, whether we're turning off all the noise, all the preoccupations, all the thought forms, well, yourself is going to open up, blossom and blossom right here, right now. Right here, right now, within your body, within your whole instrument. You just feel even the blood pumping. You feel the energy, the vibratory levels, the molecular levels eventually, the atoms, the subatoms eventually, just spiraling and spiraling. Can you feel right now the quietness in the head, as if the skull is empty, as if it's hollow? And then from there, taking a few moments and then asking yourself, what is it, if anything, do I wish to focus my energy towards today? If it's a website, so be it. If it's going out to lunch, dinner, whatever, so be it. If it's about going to work, so be it. If it's about entertaining or socializing, so be it. But right now, you see, the more you go here, the thoughts and everything has been done. They're becoming more spacious. And see, you're coming in between the thoughts, in between the perceptions, in between the judgments, in between pain is bad, comfort is good, the point of life is to be undisturbed. You're coming in right there between each thought, between literally each cell, between literally each atom, subatom, between each and every molecule, even the spaciousness within the molecules. And that's where you're going to start finding in your outside world, and which is so important that we don't clamp on, we don't grasp, we don't do this, do that. We start to watch long-term beneficial changes start to happen in our outside world to better complement, suit you, and support you.
Thank you, William. Thank you for assisting us to feel our subtle presence and sharing with us how we can be doing this all the time. It's just such a wonderful reminder also of how we are really so connected to a facet of creator and connected to creator as a whole. I want to thank you all for joining us. It's been wonderful on YouTube Live. Catch us next month. Namaste.
Namaste.